Well, 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 here we are. Hi, how's it going? It is Wednesday, I believe. I, I think. I hope. I don't know. I don't know how time works. Um, it is Wednesday, that's good. Um, how's it going? It's been, I would like to say an exciting week, but really it's just been two boring days. Um, but yeah, I'm tired. That's basically it. I thanks for the hydrate. I did hydrate. In fact, I didn't see the hydrate at first because it was in the kitchen filling up my water bottle. Um, Irony and stuff. Um, but yeah. Yeah, I just couldn't sleep well today because I get really nervous when I know I need to be awake. Y- you get what I mean? It's like even if I know there's realistically more than enough time that I could sleep a full 8 hours and still wake up. It just like wake up in time. It's just I get nervous about it. It's weird. Um, but yeah, it was fine. They had open. The doctor's office had open in the afternoon as well. So, and it wasn't anything like urgent. Like it wasn't an urgent appointment. Like I didn't have an appointment. I just wanted to check in with the doctor to get my meds refilled. Um, but yeah, exactly that. Yeah, yeah. I think I was awake at 11 at one point. I could have gone at that point, but I was tired. But yeah, it was fine. And again, it didn't take long either. Like, it wasn't anything urgent. It was just, hey, my meds are running out. Can I get them? Can I get a refill for that? Uh, and yeah, but it was still like, I was just nervous that I would be too late. I wouldn't even have to be nervous about being too late, to be honest. They also have open tomorrow. It's just, I don't know, my brain is weird. Anyways, anyways, as my sister likes to say. Um, yeah, I was thinking about doing more game dev because why not? Um, yeah, um, just doing more work on this because I'm happy with this. Don't get me wrong, but there's still stuff I would like to improve. Um, game dev, yes. Like for example, that the camera, when you fall vertically, is somehow perfectly centered, which is kind of impressive actually. I didn't do that intentionally. Um, but yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult. It just worked. I don't know. Um, another thing I want to change is while we're here, we want to make it so the camera lobs back into position faster. Um, what that does is basically just um, if you're not here, here I think. What that does is when you're moving, like not moving, the camera moves back faster than if you were moving. Um, it didn't work. Okay, this is the wrong position. This code is complicated. I don't know what to say. I know there's somewhere where the right position for this is, but so okay. Where do I set target X? Uh, I I can't really do that easily. I know why, but and I know where. Okay, what I'm trying to do here is basically that if you're walking, it lobs at the speed I currently just have for it, like the speed I already set up, but if it's returning to its original position, it should lob faster. Um, Lob, by the way, is just linear extrapolation. I don't know why. Linear interpolation, not extrapolation. Interpolation. I don't know why it's called lob. I mean, I guess because linear interpolation, so lob. But I don't know why this is the abbreviation we went to. Anyways. Um, if actually I can just do that really easy. If um if velocity, like player dot velocity, um dot x equals, or let's go with is approximately not like this, is is equal, is equal approx, that's the order. Player velocity x 0.0, lob speed I should probably make a variable for this. Equals lob speed times 2, else I don't really need an else here. And then I just replace lob speed and all of these with the not lob speed. The idea being just that if the player is not moving horizontally, then the lob speed is just slower. Oh, faster rather. That should theoretically already be working. Yeah. That just makes it that the camera returns faster to the player if the player is not moving. That doesn't solve at all the issue I have with the vertical camera, which that comes from how we are doing this. In theory, that should just be velocity dot player dot velocity dot. And run ahead. But I get the feeling that will look weird. I'm also not convinced on the thing with the lerp speed yet, but... Oh, you can't... you can't see the... You need to remind me that you can't see the game. Let me show you real quick. Capture... There we go. But yeah, now that the camera... Like that I set up the lerp speed, the camera snaps back faster. That's fair. I've been testing it a few times now, but... Yeah, the camera now snaps back faster to the player when they're not moving. I'm not 100% convinced on it, but... I don't know. It feels a bit too snappy for me. Which is kind of what I wanted, but also not really. Maybe if I do just 1.5. That might just be better. Yeah, it's not quite as snappy. 2 times was a bit much. But yeah. Thanks for the follow. I need to find a better way to capture the game, like the debug scene, but later problems. So this did nothing for us. And I remember why that was the way it was. So, why does... Is it just that it happens to be... Maybe. To be fair, it's less an issue about it, about the position. That's not a problem for me, it's more the issue of how I make it automatically capture, because if I close the game, you don't... Like, if I'm not running the project, you obviously... like, I just close it which makes sense, but then it captures Godot twice for some reason, which is which I can get rid of it afterwards, but it's just inconvenient. Um, I'll have to figure out how I do that later. Um, uh, I'm just curious. Is it still centered if I change the run ahead? This is where it is when it's centered. Well, I can't really show off what I'm doing here right now anyways, but I'm literally just pointing the mouse into the center of the screen and yeah, the player is perfectly centered. Which is a problem because I want them to be higher. Um, which it evidently is not doing. Let me. There we go. In theory, what the idea is, if the player is moving, the camera should move ahead of them, which it does horizontally, right? You can see that. But I'm pointing my mouse pointer at the center of the screen. And when I'm falling, the camera's vertical position doesn't really change. In fact, it's still perfectly centered, which is weird. It should change, I thought. Because that's what the target Y does. And like, I could remove... I could try and remove this, but I don't think it's this line of code which does it. That should, in theory, just prevent the camera from getting too far ahead. So let me center the camera real quick, so I can center my mouse pointer. Perfectly centered. I just find it impressive because that shouldn't really happen unless lerp y for some reason isn't true, which... Oh, I made the same mistake I did. I'm stupid, that's what's happening. That should be top, and the other one should be bottom. I made a mistake before and it actually showed something happening. But now it should be working. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Yeah, now you notice. Um, what happened there is this should be bottom and this one should be top. Um, I can both be smart and an idiot. Those things are surprisingly not exclusive. Uh, I mean, I did just switch them, that's why. Tisk. Um, but yeah, the reason why that's an issue is simple. The math is wrong. Uh, if that should be top but is bottom, it's comparing the high value against the low value, right? And vice versa. So you're always going to be above the lower value and always below the higher value. Because it's supposed to check if you're below the lower value and above the higher value instead of the other way around. Because those are supposed to be your constraints, your limits. Yeah. Something, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. But yeah, that should work now. But I do need to re-implement the maximum, which shouldn't be too difficult. That's why I have this line of code, after all. Heck yeah. um, let's just go with if you add gravity. Um, divided by 3. Otherwise, I can also just do something else. Viewpoint. Viewport height, not point. Viewport height. I guess just it might be viewport height halved. Yeah. What this is basically just saying is if you're going to go out of the screen, don't. Yeah, that's better. Let's try this. Yeah. I might also try this. I might have to have a different run ahead than. But I don't know. I'll have to experiment with this. I also would like to have a drag. Um, I don't know if I can just do it with the regular drag margin of the camera. That would be nice if I could. But I don't believe in it. You know what? I think I'm going to implement that myself. Thank you very much. It's fine. It's fine. Um. Oh, I forgot to. Let me know if you see two Godot windows. It does happen because I'm. As I said, I need to find a smarter way to do this. But yeah. How do I? How do I do this? What I want to achieve is that if you just jump regularly, the camera doesn't move up. So basically, I originally had this minus 32 here, but I don't know if that's going to work the way I want it to. Wait. Excuse me? Oh, I'm stupid. That's why. Um, wrong scene. Another issue that I need to fix later because this is ugly. But that's a different issue. Uh, I mean, what if I just if target, not target, but target, blah. If target Y is smaller equals minus 32.0, target Y equals minus 32.0. That means effectively the camera can never go lower than minus 32.0. Um, Maybe... The thing is, what I want to achieve is that if I'm jumping up here, the camera doesn't catch up with me until I'm landing, until I'm on the ground. What I could, of course, do is that if target Y is negative at all, I'm just not changing it. Yeah, yeah. Um, I think I'm on the right track. I just need to figure out how I math this. Like what do I want to happen? When do I want it to happen? Um. So. Because in theory, this should just work. Because if it's negative, which means if we're jumping, it oh, I understand now what is my issue. That doesn't mean I know how to solve it, but I understand my issue. No wait, that's what we just had. Brain. Okay. Let's break this problem down. We want the position to stay at this. We want the camera to stay at the same position when the player is jumping. So we need to counteract the player's movement. Okay. Okay. So when the player jumps, if player dot velocity dot y is smaller than 0, then target y equals minus player dot velocity dot y minus 32. I know. If my math is mathing correctly, that would mean we get roughly something that counteracts the player's velocity. Roughly. We can tweak it later. Let's try half of that. So, times run ahead. Let's try that. Better? Question mark? Let's just try 2.0. Let's try 4. Okay, that isn't quite working. And private variable. Why are you? Why is anything? Okay, what I'm thinking right now is I save the starting jump position and then I try to find the distance between the player and the starting jump position, and then I just make the target y that offset. Yeah, I'm working on it. Start height 0.0. Start actually it should not be 0.0, but because there's it's false. And not jump. Where's viewport with not declared? Over here, I see. Okay, what I'm doing is math, and I hate that. But if and jump true. And not player.velocity, but player.position.y. And then target y equals jump if jump equals true, then target y becomes minus star, not minus start height, minus start height minus player, actually player dot position dot y minus start height. I can remove that anyways because that's just if jump. Where's the? Oh, there it is. Okay. If target and if player dot velocity. Sorry, by the way, that I'm a bit distracted. I'm not braining, but okay, what I'm doing here, in theory, if I'm doing this correctly, I am step for step checking if the player velocity is negative, which means the player's jumping because screens go from top to bottom. So if the velocity is negative, the player's jumping, or in some way moving up. I'm doing this for one simple reason. If player.velocity.y 0.0, okay, if jump equals sure. That's just making sure if the jump distance is too high, then we ignore all of that. If not, jump distance, or if it's smaller, I guess. Yeah, if that's small, like if that's higher than viewport height divided by 3, we're going by, okay, this is too much. This is too much distance, we don't need to go that far out. So then we just use the normal target Y. Otherwise, target Y equals minus jump distance. This is a lot of complex math that is basically just counteracting the movement of the player if the player is jumping. And hopefully this works. Oh, I misspelled position. That. Oopsie. Oopsie. Let's try this again, but this time spell jump correctly. You know what? Let's do this at the end instead. We don't actually, you know. If jump and instead of target.y we just position .y directly. Game? There we go. It's kind of working. Hang on, I can fix that. I can fix that. Maybe I can fix it. Y equals false. Maybe this works. Okay. I need to do this after I declare lerp Y. But sort of, not really. Yeah, this is not working at all. Eh? That's not working at all. Why is it not working at all? Because it needs to be positive, doesn't it? Nope, doesn't help at all. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Brain. Do I need to switch those? I don't think so, but... I think they might need to also be absolute values. That might actually do it. No. Not at all, but... I have no clue what I'm doing here. I'm gonna be real. Let's start from scratch. Oh, hey, hang on, wait. Never mind, I might know what is going wrong here. Nope. It did improve it, but nope. I need to think about this. I might have to start from scratch with this, which is fine, just to be clear. I might have to take a completely new look in the Y direction, like what Y does. Because a lot of this code is very, fixing 5,000 bugs. This code is, something. But yeah, that's why I'm currently a bit struggling with this, because this code is very complex. Like, there's a lot of different factors on how things are actually calculated, and it gets weird. I can also... No, I didn't want to. I can also, now that I think about it, separate this for X and Y. Yeah, I know. I'll... I'll also move this down here. And I think those I'll move up here. But that's a different issue. Anyways, ads are about to start, so I'm going to take a quick break. Yes, I know Godot. That's a lot of issues. I'm fixing it. I'm working on it. I am working on it. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Again, I need to find a better way to do the capture for the game. Anyways, I'll be right back. I'll take a quick break, and then I'll figure out how I'm actually doing this, more than anything. Um, have returned. Yo, like Kirby, enjoy your luck. Hope you get some good nums. Okay. First of all, this should fix some small issues, but those aren't really relevant. I don't think that's the issue we were dealing with. But separating lerp speed X and lerp speed Y is probably good for stuff like having lerp back to position faster. But I still don't know how the issue for me right now is still I need to figure out and the real issue is, right, this is a complex math problem basically. So I need to, there are a few things that I need to figure out. When is the player jumping? I think that was the right approach. I just, where I put the whole like, I don't think I'm going to really consider lerping as long as the player is jumping. So for now, let's start just by figuring out when the player is jumping. And I'm starting to think it might be easier to lerp X and Y separately instead of doing this. Yeah. Okay, to clean this up. Currently what I'm doing is a bit complicated. Okay. Part of the issue is that the position is lerping even if it shouldn't be lerping. Is there a reason for that to happen? Not really, I think. So, I think this is just a condition for lerp X. I'm thinking if I want to move this... Yo Z, I am having a brain moment. So I'm starting to think I just want to put this into a function can lerp x, can lerp y. Let me do that actually. Because this is complicated, to say the least. Can lerp x bool if first if pause lerp. That's an easy one. If pause lerp, return false. If at the end of this function nothing gets triggered, we can return true, but and the return y function is gonna basically function identical. It's just I don't need this right now. So lerp x is can and lerp y is can lerp. So I don't need to worry about that anymore. If the position is outside the... Could you please... Behave, Godot, behave. Behave. Yeah, it seems to be that kind of day for everyone. I've also been struggling. But he's okay. Some days just are like that. And that's... A-okay. I'm just trying to do some stupid stuff right now. Oh, I forgot the if. So what I'm currently doing is, basically I'm just going through all the possible ways in which the player could be not allowed to lerp, like the player camera could be not allowed to lerp. And if any of them happen to be true, then yeah. Like if any of the conditions is true that that should prevent lerping, then I just don't lerp. That means I can remove this entire statement. This should be... I'm basically just trying to clean this up so the vertical movement will work the way I want to. What I want the vertical movement to do, and I can maybe show that to you really quick, if it doesn't crash. Negative vertical travel, but yes. That is correct. Technically, we could even ask the player in which state the player is. because that's information we have, evidently. Otherwise, I couldn't be displaying. I wouldn't be displaying it on the player. But to explain what I'm basically doing right now, or want to do, is that when I jump, the camera stays attached to the floor, so it doesn't move until we land or fall, I guess. So basically that it only lerps when we are moving up, I guess. That 30 months? Dead. Don't worry, you couldn't have said anything funnier. So who's really winning? I should make the landing animation shorter. Anim player, land. There's not even... I make it like 0.5. It doesn't really matter, it's just there. So I know there is a landing animation. I'll anyways have to tweak it. That's almost a parsec. I don't... No. Because if I'm falling, I still want the camera to follow. How... But... I don't know, I'll have to think about that. But to get back to what I'm currently doing, I'm just cleaning up this code a bit because I realized I can probably clean it up a bit more. And probably fix some of the issues I had with it. It's basically just a long list of what are the conditions for it to be false, and yeah. The difference between a jump and a fall is... there are two differences. When you're jumping, first of all, the obvious one, you're going up, versus falling, going down. In fact, once you reach the peak of your jump, you transition into the falling state. Your direction is straight up what determines if you're falling or jumping. While technically the jumping isn't dependent on if you're going up. It's just the jump makes you go up. But whenever you're going down and aren't on the ground, you're falling. Unless you coyote time, but effectively when... So theoretically I could specifically ask for the jumping state. In fact... Yes, that is correct. That's good. Cleaning up code is always good. In fact, I need to clean up this code a little bit more. Um, um, I've been slacking again on documentation. Can I dot uh can I find out which the current state is? That's technically not what I'm asking, but state machine. Can I know what the current state is? I can. So I can technically just ask can I get the name of the current state? Name dot too low. That's one hell of a jump. So, what I'm asking. I mean, I made the state class, I know. Was just a question of how can I access the state the easiest. And I guess getting it by name is probably the easiest. So if the current state is jump, then the thing is no longer lerping. Which at that point we can remove this part because we don't need it anymore. At which point we can just and it should still work the same. I mean, it's behaving wrong when I'm jumping because, duh. And now it's just a matter of setting the position of the... Oh! Sorry. No, not this. I need to find a way to automatically capture this. But it's a bit weird. So I don't know quite how to do it yet. But to be fair, there's not much to see except it's working as intended. Well, mostly as intended. Yeah, especially the debug window is hard to catch. Just regular Godot is fine. It's a debug window where it becomes difficult. Okay, but this is sort of working. Elif. This is again if the status jump. Then dot y equals yeah. That might help, yes. Currently it's just my game capture, but I would love to replace it with something else because this is not ideal. So we want the distance of the player to the starting position of the camera. How do I do that? How do I find this out? I could of course just log it when I enter the jump state. I mean that's not a terrible idea actually. Um, uh, last grounded position of the player. So it's in jump. Jumpu. We on enter we entity dot ground pose equals entity dot position, and I'm actually going to do that before setting the velocity. I'm also starting to think I should probably instead have some of the other things of entity as well as besides velocity. Direction position might be useful. But yeah, that would be very helpful to know, Z. I would appreciate that. Dot minus dot ground pulse. Yeah, that should be correct. Huh. That's unfortunately not very helpful for me, because I want to be able to capture many different game windows. God damn it, Hex. Hi, how's it going? Um, reset is called in... Yeah. So, in... That's a public function. In reset... equals 0.0. Player.ground pose. My bad. Entity. Jesus, fine. Yo, Hex, how's it going? Right. That's probably... yeah. That's probably more like it. That works better. Yes, I'm currently just using my normal game capture, like the one that I'm also using for streaming actual games. Like it's straight up the same capture, just different. Well, not different, just smaller, really. Let's see if this is working. Define working. Um, haha, haha, haha. Why are you not working? I guess. I don't know. That seems bad. I'm good to hear that your team is doing well though. I was lurking. I was I think that was when I was playing games with Select. She wanted to play Guilty Game with me. Might have also been when I worked with a friend. I was busy yesterday. Um, but I was lurking, yeah. Um, okay. It's not. It's still not working. Um. Uh. I just want to know if this is being hit at all. Jump. And the answer is no. Duly noted. Um. So this is never hit. Why is it not hit? Um. I mean, because this is evidently because this is failing, but why is this failing? Uh. Um. Player dot state machine dot current state. Um. Jump. So what? Okay, but that means this is hit. Then why isn't this hit? Or is it? And I'm just... I thought I removed you. Compliment myself. I know why it happens. For the same reason everything went wrong this entire freaking stream. Because I keep switching up tops and bottoms. To get back to the compliment, I feel like I've gotten a lot more self-reliant over the last few. See, no, but like I feel like um, I feel like I'm a lot more self-reliant. Like there was a discussion in another Discord server I'm in about like when do you start feeling like an adult, and like obviously I think the correct answer is never, right? You'll never fully feel like an adult, like you know everything you need to know, but like I feel a lot more self-confident, I guess. I don't need this anymore. Yes, this is almost working. I need minus 32. Uh, like, there are just way more things I'm just doing on my own. Uh, plus 32? I... This is not completely working, but it's kind of working. Um... Yeah, I mean, I get what you... I mean, he's not even the first person making this joke this stream, like, can't complain. 16. As a programmer, I should know what half of 32 is. In theory, it feels like I'm doing the right thing, but something is still off about it. Like, I think this is the right idea, but something about it is still wrong. Yeah. Let's try lerping to that position. Let's try that, shall we? Oops. No, my ambivalence. God damn it. At this point, it's just not doing anything, which is a separate issue. God, imagine. Huh. I'm just trying to understand where I'm currently going wrong still. I I'm shocked I say. Um so I don't know if lerping is necessarily working. Okay. Like, I'm not sure it's working, but it's also... It is doing something, it's just not doing what I want it to do. Um... Um... Also, I'm just realizing lerp speed Y currently doesn't do anything. Um... Lerp... Position .x... Target... Target X. What is... What? Oh, I see. I see. That would do it. Um... What... What do you mean? I... That's... Yeah, that just sounds like the United States of America. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Um... Okay. So... The goal is that the camera is staying on the ground for a bit when you're jumping. Basically, in theory, what I want is a drag margin. Thanks for the hydrate, by the way. But drag margins are funny with the system I have built. It turns out I've made a slightly insane camera, so you know. I can prevent, in theory I can prevent the camera from moving when the player is jumping. In fact, that's what I'm already doing in theory. I need to also readjust the camera so it... The issue is, currently it kind of just moves with the player, but it doesn't move ahead of the player, which is already progress. But what I want the camera to do is to stay at the position I guess what I want is if player dot y is smaller than or equal to player dot ground height, that it moves differently. How it moves differently is capture? Capture? I would like some game, please. Thank you. Let me try that again. There we go. The issue is currently it doesn't quite move the way I want. I can try not lerping it again. But that has other issues. Maybe if I do minus 32. Because that's technically another offset. Because I want the camera to be, in general, just higher. But it doesn't really... I haven't really thought about it. Like, currently this is just a general template, so... whatever I'm making can just work, but... I mean... I've a secret project I'm working on with Dan, but... That should mathematically give me the distance between the player and the starting point of the player. That's what that should do. Um, but it's not. It's not quite working the way I want. Either it's not updating ground height correctly, or I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just not getting it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, I don't hate how it is currently. Like, it's already pretty good. That's not it. It's just annoying. I don't know what I'm doing. I genuinely don't know. Yes. I technically want it locked until the player is falling. Basically, I want the camera to be locked until the player is below their ground position. Yeah. I'm mainly just annoyed because I haven't done much else today, but... Well, with this. Anyways. But I'll figure it out eventually. One step at a time. There are also some other things I can still do, so... And I do still think some of the changes I've made are for the better, but... Like, this did clean up the code significantly. Regardless of if it's working or not. In that regard, it does help. Maybe. The issue, Lich, isn't about... The issue isn't about the camera waiting. That's the easy part. The difficult part is... I need to counteract the movement of the player because the camera is relative to the player. No, most of this I'm doing by myself at this point. Like, this camera is based on a video, but I've reworked it a lot since it didn't quite do what I want and it wasn't working for my project. So I needed to rework a lot of it. The state machine was from a tutorial, but that's ages ago now, and I've refined it a lot. And the character creator is so old that I don't even know anymore where it's from, but I've been using it for ages now, so I mostly just learn by doing, yeah. Like, I do look up tutorials and stuff, but um, a lot of it is also just figuring stuff out on my own, especially in the t- territory where I am now, because I'm at the point where no one has done what I have done. Um, I'm not saying that as like a huge, oh, this is so special or whatever thing. It's just, it's an oddly specific solution to an oddly specific problem. Like, this is more of a thing of I'm doing things not a lot of people would just do. So there aren't a lot of guides on how to do it. That's what I was trying to do, yes. Lich. That was what I was trying to do, but it didn't quite. Like, it's not working for some reason, and I don't know uh, why. I don't know why. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. I just either I'm doing the math wrong, or my brain is just not, like, I'm missing a step. But yeah, but yeah, I think I'm going to leave this be for now and focus on something else. Because there's something else I want to do. Well, a lot of other things I want to do, but I'm going to take a quick break because ads are about to start. So afterwards we can look into the states. I want to clean up the states a bit more. Yeah, I'm a fan of this Zebrahead version. Uh, I like it. Um, I believe Zebrahead is the band that originally performed his world, but it wasn't exclusively Zebrahead. While this version is exclusively Zebrahead. I think the original version also had Crush 40, but I don't remember right now at the top of my head. Oh, it was something like that. I don't remember exactly. I know there's also a Crush 40 version of his world. There are many versions of this track for how unpopular the game it is. Uh, it's from is okay. I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to set grounded position here. I'm going to set it in land. So whenever the player lands on the ground, they set a grounded position. That shouldn't change too much, but it might already help. And now if player dot is on floor, if not, player is on floor and player dot position dot y is smaller than player dot ground height, then return false. And if that's the case, then what are you not finding? If. My bad. I thought I copied the if as well. I mean, yeah. Like, I can think of a few Sonic games that have okay music, but only one really that has bad music, and that wasn't even made by Sega, so... So, this is still not working, but... I don't... I just don't... I'm just not understanding why the physics are not... Like, where the math is wrong, right? Because theoretically, this is all the math I'm doing. Absolute position y, just so I get a minus. Just so I get it without the minus. And that minus the ground height, because in theory that's a smaller value. Well, yes, smaller value. Assuming I also make it absolute. Which in theory would give me the distance between the player's current position and the absolute position. Not absolute, the current position and the ground position. Which in theory should... I mean, I assume it's because... I don't know. That's the problem. I don't know. I just don't know. Oh, I think I do know. I would need to check if that's true, but... Huh. But you know what? Easier solution. We just do this. That should in theory assure that the math is always correct. Why are you not capturing? There we go. This is actually not that bad. That is something we can work with. Yeah. It only seems to be an issue when we're landing. But I can prevent that by checking if... dot name dot to lower. I can just check if we're landing. Hang on, let me put that into its own statement. This is getting too long. Not and land. So now if the state is not landing. I really need to figure out how to capture the window better. This is looking good. This is looking promising. Let me try and lerp that. And then just target Y. Does that... No. Uh... Okay. But this is progress. How do I... The issue now, right? If the camera hasn't caught up to us yet. It jumps very suddenly when we jump. How do we prevent that? I guess the thought process would be if it hasn't caught up to us yet, it should try to learn. How do I... not really. I have a speed setting, but... I mean, kind of. Here's the thing. The issue is currently, what if the camera is below the... If global position.y is bigger than player.ground height. We lerp to. Oopsie. We lob to the target position. Otherwise it is just... I think that might work. Eh? No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. If it's... I know why it doesn't work, because technically speaking the camera is above the player. I just... How do I solve this? Because I know why it's happening, I just don't understand what is happening. Let me show it. I keep forgetting. I don't think so. But it's kind of... Is it quiet? Or is that... Tell me what the problem with the music is. Like, is it quiet? Is it... Because it kind of just fading in and out is kind of just what the music does. I mean, the music is kind of like that, it's just not quite that extreme. I don't know if I want to turn it up, is the thing. But I'm not doing anything with it. Not that I would know. Yeah, there are no filters, no... Tell me if it happens with other songs. Okay. Weird. Anyways, to show you what's happening. If it ever captures. There we go. It's fine when I'm just moving normally. Well, the landing has a bit of a weird impact, but that's fine. What's happening is that when I'm quickly jumping up and down, naturally it tries to catch up with Uh, like I can tell you exactly why it's happening, Z. Like, that's not the difficult part. Because it tries to go to the grounded position. Like, to the distance between the grounded position, but because... obviously we're moving faster than it can catch up to us. Never reaches the ground. I just don't quite know how to fix that. I broke it even more. Oopsie. No, that's not at all what's happening. It just doesn't catch up to us. And because it doesn't catch up to us, it jumps to get to the position it's supposed to be. Like, it's behaving like I'm telling it to. The issue is what I'm telling it has the issue that it, if I'm moving fast, has to jump. Also, oops. Oopsie. My bad. So that's not it. Noted. Duly noted. What? Z, what is happening? To explain really quick. Ignoring all of this code. When we set the position to be the distance between the ground height of the player and the position, like Y position of the player, that's all fine and dandy. But the moment we land on a platform, obviously the ground height changes. And suddenly the distance between the player and the ground height is completely different. Because we're looking at a different ground height. Because if I was trying a move to catch up, yes, it's a set instead of move to catch up. Because if we made it a move to catch up, it would never catch up. Or rather, specifically, it needs to be a set because it needs to be immediately consistent with the player position at all time. Which is fine for one jump, but if we are jumping more than one step at a time, ground height it needs to be relative to is suddenly different. And I don't know how to solve that. Yeah. Um. not very feasible, considering it's a child of the player. It is always attached to the player. Um, and I don't know if that would help, actually. Because the issue is the math, not the... I mean, Yeah, exactly. I'm not ruling it out because I'm thinking it could make some of these things easier, but I don't know. Is the issue. The thing is, here's the trade-off, right? I maybe can. I can try it, but... Wait. Doing the math correctly would help. Doing the math correctly would help. I had the delta replaced with target y instead of the 0. I don't know if that's going to fix it, but... doing the math correctly will help. Mind you, I don't know if it's... because the problem is still there. Yeah, it doesn't fix the issue. But okay. Let's... let's try it instead of lerp speed. You know what? That's promising. No. I figured as much. In fact, let me just demonstrate. A few zeros less. More zeros less. I agree, like, it does look good. It's just... it's just one annoying issue that I don't know how to fix, and I might just have to ask Silic for help. That's... But yeah, even if I make the speed 1 straight up, it doesn't... It just doesn't work. Because that's not really what's causing the issue. I think I need a different approach is the issue. This is the thing where I would love to use drag margins. Drag margins are a property of cameras, of any camera 2D. What they basically do is only at a certain offset does the camera actually start moving. But the issue is I'm not actually dragging the camera with me. Like, it's not being dragged, it's moving. Because in theory I would just like to do it via margin, but like via drag margins. But there we go. The issue is it causes this weird jumping. Which... And it doesn't really solve the issue either, but... How do I do this? Again, I might just have to ask Selig about that, like, for help with that. Because I don't know how to solve this in a way that works well. I guess... I could just say if it's below a certain amount, like below a certain distance, it isn't allowed to do the thing, but like if it's below a certain distance, it behaves like normal. If dot y equals s bigger equals 32. Only if all of these conditions are true. If... I don't know why I said camera, this is just... If all of these conditions are true, only then is it false. That would mean... let's go with 64. Currently, this is just an arbitrary number. Why are you bigger than 64? $96. I'm just throwing numbers at the wall to see what sticks. Viewport height divided by 3. If it's smaller than minus viewport, I don't freaking know what I'm doing here. Okay. Okay, if it's less than minus 32.0, does that work? I have no idea. At this point, I'm just throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. Let's do something else for now. I don't know. I have no idea how to fix this. Or rather, how to make this work. So, yeah. Put in a little list of later problems. I mean, it's fine without. It's just something I would like to figure out. No worries. I'll probably do something else. Because this is driving me insane. I can evidently not make it work. So, let me clean up the states really quick. There's not a lot of cleanup to do, but I just wanna make sure everything is documented correctly. Because I realized could add a little bit. More code here. So, just so I know what it does. What did I write here? I also might want to add something to state. Namely that position... Actually, I'm 50-50 on it. In state, I currently define velocity. Which is just the velocity of the entity the state machine is attached to. But I don't know if I technically need that. Well, I know I don't need it, but what I'm thinking is, do I want to keep it and expand on this by having other common things of the entity defined, like redefined in the state, so that I don't need to write entity dot position or whatever every time? Or do I remove this and just write entity dot velocity every time? I think both are reasonable things to do. It's mainly just a question of what of the two I want to choose. So yeah, I don't know. So I don't know. For example, I could just do um and then I wouldn't need to write entity.position anymore when I'm using the position in a state. Which I think might be beneficial. What is direction? It's an integer. The advantage, of course, being that I basically never need to write these out again. Like in idle, I can just direction input is probably actually I shouldn't add direction input because that's a player specific thing, but in walk, for example, I can just remove because those are the same value now. It's like it's not a incredibly important thing. Just makes some things slightly easier, but I feel like there's a fair point to be made that that's still useful. But yeah, it's not super important, but like, you know. Jump. Velocity and I guess position is technically correct. And move player. It's just a little bit of extra help. To explain what each of these does. I should also. Punctuation is important. Commas are important, people. Commas aren't people. Input and position. Inputs. Specifically. Okay, that's just a little bit of cleanup. Nothing super important, but helpful. I still need to figure out the... I should document what I have in the camera now. Let me do that real quick. Camera. Out to lerp in Y direction. And the same for camera member global position. Global position to the limits. I should also document this. And those two. The width of the project of the game window. I should spell width correctly. I mean, not particularly sophisticated, but, you know. Sometimes it doesn't need to be the most sophisticated. X and Y depending. T. which axes can be blurb or should be lurbed. Just making this giant mess of a function a bit easier to read. Camera code. Subpixel camera handling. Okay. Calculate looped position. That's some nice clean code. I'm a big fan. How I cleaned this up. I should... With such a long function, I think it's worth spending some time to document it a bit more. Like this. Anyways. Going to take a quick break because ads are about to run. I'm probably not going for too much longer because it's getting late, but yeah. Okay, I do like his world, but that's a coincidence. I I don't have it that often in the playlist. I I think uh, I think. But yeah, welcome back. Um, I am happy having at least cleaned up this code a little bit more. That makes it much easier to look through it. Actually, it is not the same version. That's the original version. Yeah, it was. Uh, Matty Lewis from Zebrahead was in his world, but it wasn't like the Zebrahead version specifically is. Uh, what do you mean? Elaborate. The player tech and nothing in the player technically is aware of what the camera is doing. I, I could do that, but that has other. It wouldn't solve the issue where I do this. Is the issue. It's about how I do it, and I don't know how to do it differently. So it's something I need to think about. It's. I don't know, I need to think about that. Yeah, I figured you can't read it. It's. The thing is, it's not a where issue, it's a how issue. Because the issue is the way I'm adjusting the position necessarily causes this issue. Because the way I'm doing it is immediately readjusting the position when I'm above the ground height, which the ground height shifts every time I land on something. So yeah, I'm trying to put it into words, but it's forcing it to that exact position, yes. Because if I don't do it, if I try to lerp it to that position instead, it can catch up fast enough to where it should be, and it's just going up. So it doesn't do what it's supposed to do of counteracting the movement. I tried it, that doesn't work. If it is lerping fast, much faster, it's going to. I mean, first of all, the player isn't really lerping to the position they're moving. I mean, I suppose they probably are technically, but not really. The player is moving via actual physics, like which the camera is definitively not doing. I'm I just don't know how to solve it right now. Yeah. The thing is, in theory, I could probably figure out how to lerp it in a way that would work the same. In practice, that's such complex math that um the issue isn't when like the issue is specifically when I'm jumping. I cannot make it lerp because it cannot lerp fast enough to reach the position it needs to be in time. It's just not happening. The issue is once we land after a jump, needs to catch up or not snap to the position. I just don't know how to communicate that to the camera. Because I don't know. I don't know if it's really a max speed. The issue is just I would need to figure out what the right speed is, and that's frankly impossible. Like, that's above my level of mathematics. Because if it's too fast, it's like it's. If the weight is too high, it's going to just lerp to places it shouldn't be. Because it just would overshoot. And the issue is I don't know what the speed would need to be that it doesn't overshoot. And at some point, more importantly, that lerp just becomes instantly snapping, but by another name. Like, if I do it at a certain speed, I might as well just instantly snap it. Yeah, my voice. So it's not really a thing of max speed, it's just there's not a speed that would achieve what I want without... Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't think I can solve that with lerp speed. Is the summary. As much as I would like to be able to solve it just with that. Again, I'll probably just have to figure something out with Zerek. I just... Because the solution is like right on the tip of my tongue. I know it's solvable, I just don't know how. So, yeah. And I should probably also just spend the time to fix some other issues. That's also what I wanted to do today. So... or not fix issues, but like clean up code. Calculate. I looked visually more when it was like this. But yeah, it's just... I just don't know how to solve it right now, and I don't think I can solve it right now. The issue is that the issue isn't about the movement type, because the matter of fact is it needs to be instantly to be at the position it needs to be for the jump. That's just... If it moves in response to the player moving, it will always be too slow. So it needs to already be at the position as it learns of the position. So it fundamentally cannot lerp or move in any other way, because that's too slow. Like, the issue is the ideal lerp speed is just instantaneous, because otherwise it doesn't have the time to counteract the movement of the player, unless I can predict where the player will be, but even then I can't really do that, at least not perfectly. So the camera just has to instantly... That's the thing, though. I don't understand. I can't do the catch-up lerp if the player can basically instantly jump again, which the player essentially can. So I need to find out when I should still be lerping instead of trying to... In theory, but like... It would still need to... I'm just trying to... Let me think about this. The problem is I can't... I know, right? I just... I'm trying to break down the problem, right? But the issue is... Because in theory I get what you mean, it's just... There isn't enough time for catch-up. So I need to tell the camera to not worry about snapping to position as long as it hasn't caught up. But by the time it would have caught up, it hasn't caught up to the player yet. And especially I don't know how I can tell that it's in the wrong position. That's kind of the problem. I don't know how I tell it that it's in the wrong position. So... But I think I get what you mean. I'm just trying to break it down into... I mean, I know where the target position should be, right? And if it's not caught up, it would be below the... Okay. Okay. If y is bigger than target y, if the position is lower than target y, minus 32. Actually, no, just... No, it's fine, it's fine. It's just a difficult problem, so... I'm never complaining about help with programming. This is not a game. I'm not doing this for fun. I'm doing this to solve this problem. If position y is below the target y, we position dot y lerp equals lerp position dot y comma target y comma lerp speed y times 2. Sure. Delta times target. Yeah, I know, but that's not it. It's not. So... the issue is currently it's even when we're standing still for some reason. Doing it wrong. That was the issue with this approach. So why is that the case? What is the math? Where's the math wrong here? It's no, it's actually behaving the way it. Hang on, let me show you real quick. The way it's currently behaving is actually really normal. In fact, that's the problem right now. It's just behaving normal. Could you please, OBS? I'm begging you. Please. Please. Could you? OBS? Hydrate. I can hydrate. Stretch. I can stretch too. Because this is not working for now 3 hours? 3 hours. So, you know. Slightly infuriating. Ow. And yeah, OBS is not capturing, which is also slightly infuriating. Now you're working. Fine, whatever. Yeah, the issue currently is that it's just, mostly behaving like normal. Which, you know, all things considered, isn't too bad, but... Oh, I know what. No? No, that should be... correct. But... then it would happen all the... Well, I am more confused. I have... Quoi? I... You know, I was thinking maybe I would do something fun today, like implement slopes or something. Something interesting, you know. I mean, I know that's... I know that's already very optimistic. Could you please just capture... Why is nothing working? Well, I think I had enough for today. No. I mean, yes, kind of. Which check do you mean? Because depending on that, the answer differs. Um, if you mean my target like the target position is specifically the absolute. That check is not an absolute position or an absolute value. It's uh, the position y, the position y of the camera. Just comparing if it's bigger than the target y, which would mean it's lower, because that's how screen works. Um, I don't know. I have no idea what's going wrong there, and I think I'm at my limit for this today. Um, but that's okay. I'll figure it out eventually. That should be direction. I just... Yeah. Again, I might just ask Selec for help. She might have an idea. But I'm just... I think I'm out of my depth for today. And that's... okay. I was probably anyways optimistic trying to solve this today. This is difficult. It's definitely like I'm not upset at myself for not being able to solve it. If anything, I'm upset for making you sit through me breaking my brain on this. I'd rather have done something more productive with the stream time, but oh well. Sometimes it can't be helped, and that's okay. And like I've done some stuff that was useful, just you know, not all of it. um, I'm just checking if there's anything left I would like to clean up before I call it for today. Because there are some other things in this project that I still would like to work on, but some of them will need some more work. Yeah. Like slopes, yes, Lich. I know slopes are a pain in the ass. I probably shouldn't want them in a game, but as a Sonic fan, you know, yeah, that's fair. And I had fun. Like, even though it's a pain, it is fun. I just want to finally get this camera done so I can, I don't know. I don't think it's credited on the album. I don't know who made it right now, but I'm pretty sure it's not credited on the album. Yo Volt, how's it going? Google says it's been composed by Masafumi Ogata. I probably butchered that, but and written by Casey Rankin. Performed by Keiko Yutoku? I'm not good with names. But yeah, I guess it's not credited on the album because I did rip that from my CD. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure something out. My voice. My voice is dying. But yeah, I'll just have to figure something out. But otherwise, I don't know. I'm happy. I'm happy with this, even if I wish I did more. Probably redundant information, but might as well. Left. Facing right. I'm just... I do also want to just clean up stuff here, like... Because I do want this to be somewhat clean, documented code, right? Because this is a template I'm going to use a lot. So I want to, at least the basis of this, be clean, right? Cleaned up, readable. So it's... kind of a bigger priority than usual for me to clean this up, like make it clean code and stuff. I was thinking of redefining the hurt area for the enemy later, but that's also another thing. I just want this to be, I don't know, just somewhat organized. I know, Riff, it's... I also can't believe I'm actually doing this. But occasionally it does actually help. occasionally. Thank you, thank you. Again, I wish I did more today, but oh well. This is not easy code to work with. Um, like this process function is probably one of the most complicated I've written since ever. So trying to fit anything into it is kind of a pain. I'll figure it out. Just maybe not today. I do kind of not want to call it now that so many people are here, but it is getting late. So let me find something here real quick, which is completely opposed to what I just wanted to say. Not. Might be too difficult right now, but I want to figure out how to make the label on the player debug only. So I don't have to worry about it again. Godot make nodes invisible. Oh no! Biddies! Thanks for the gigantified emote, that's actually kind of funny. That's a funny emote. Like, I do love how sad it looks. Like, dance emotes look so great. What I'm trying to see is if I can make a label invisible if it's like if I want to know if there's a way to find a difference between being in debug mode and not being in debug mode. I mean, that would be funny. How do I find out? Debugger panel. I'll have to read more into this. Because I currently don't know how to achieve what I want to achieve. I guess maybe I can find something in tree. or an object. Get uh, I guess node. Can I scene tree? Debug. I guess I don't. Root. Accessibility description. This is just me reading the documentation to try and find if there's any way to find out if the game is currently in debug mode. I don't know if there's a way to find out, but if there is a way, that would be nice. Maybe in scene. So top. Current scene. That's just a node. How do you know? How do you know when we are in the? No worries. How do you know we are currently in debugging? If it's not an engine. Is it? Because is editor hint is not it, because that's only when so that's not it. Top. Get offer, get copier, get down. No, I don't. Main loop. Can I? Finalize, initialize, physics, process, and process. I'm starting to understand something. Okay, that doesn't help me at all. How do I? Don't think any of this is it. TBH. I don't want to create a custom performance monitor, thank you very much. I don't know what that would do for me. For getting wet, that's, sure. You know what? I'm not even questioning it. How do I find out if I'm currently in a debug build? Debug mode. That's not at all what I asked. But that might help. Let's try. In ready, if has feature debug. State label dot true, else state dot visible equals false. And if I did this correctly, that should just I think that means it's working. Let me. I don't know why I would capture it, because frankly that nothing changes, but there we go. As you can see, you can still see the state label, which presumably means it's working. I think. I think. Huge emphasis on I think. I don't really know how to test that, but you know what? I'm happy with that. It is progress, and I desperately needed to make some sort of progress today. So yeah, that's I think I'm going to call it for today. I think I'm done for today. My brain is not braining anymore, and it's getting late. So, shall we find someone to raid? Let me see who's live. I guess I know who we're going to raid. Let's raid RPG. He is a speedrunner and also a game dev. he's currently working on a game in RPG Maker, and apparently he's currently playtesting it. So let's say hi to him. Raid message is going to be just, I don't know what I'm doing. With whatever raid emote you like. I'm going to use mine, of course. But use whatever you want. I'll be back on Friday, probably, maybe. I don't know. Depends what the week has to offer. But yeah. I'll try to fix the camera stuff until next time. Hopefully I'll get it working. I'll work with Silicon it. But yeah. Probably gonna do Legend CA again on Friday. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, until then, bye.